What's going on, everybody? DomoSenpai here, and I promise I did not make this video on purpose for this day being Valentine's Day, as you guys know, with Tamzy being in his acts of love and all of that stuff. I bullshit y'all not. I did not make this for that purpose, but after reading the last, 20 plus chapters after the reveal of Tamzy being the antagonist, the last arc, right, the Kreml's Village arc, has been one of the most intriguing arcs and really gave me a different perspective on just the overall character of Tamzy. And something that I wanted to point out was the simple fact that he's a really interesting villain when you think about it. There's a lot of things that was introduced with his character just recently with that whole inner Tamzy ordeal, and sure, right, it's not necessarily unique. There's always that inner insert character that pops out, and we've seen it before. The spotlight I'm trying to shine is basically on how Gachiakuta presented it, right? Like, it can be used, but how it's implemented and presented definitely is the thing that I believe should take precedence over it all. So with that being said, man, we're going to be going over why Tamzy is such a unique antagonist. And if y'all are new to the channel, man, and have yet to subscribe, make sure y'all go down below, hit the link in the description, help your boy out. We about to hit 10K. This is about to be insane. I can't believe it. You can't believe it. I damn sure still can't believe in my mind what we're about to accomplish. But once we hit that, we're going to take it out of the ballpark and start doing some crazy stuff, attempting to go even further. I'm talking like 20K, 50K, 100K. Y'all already know how that be, bro. We got a lot of work that we need to do. Share this with everybody who's Gachiakuta fans. I know there's a lot of Tamzy fans out there. And one of the things that I mulled over for like hours was like, what was I going to use as a title? Was I going to call it why Tamzy is the most unique antagonist in Gachiakuta, or was I going to call it the many faces of Tamzy? That was one that like bounced back and forth through my head a few times, and I was like, yeah, that might be good. Not necessarily gonna go with that, but we'll see by the time I get done with the video, right? What I want to do with it, thumbnail, all of that, yada yada yada. But without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Tamzy's role in the story is a pretty unique one where he comes across as such a nice guy, like a cool dude, here to help Rudo do what he needs to do, be a mentor of sorts. But as we progress through the story, things get weirder, and his character does a complete 180. We find out he's the one who's behind everything, and Jesus Christ, was it quite the plot twist, right? The knife in the back, no pun intended, even though it was a knife in the chest area. One of the things that I believe we need to talk about is his unpredictable nature, right? Like, he's unpredictable and chaotic within, but on the outside, he's so mellow and chill. I know the way I'm explaining this makes him sound like the Joker of Gachiakuta, but that's not what we're trying to get to, right? On one hand, he's not your typical evil mastermind or vengeful villain, right? He's erratic and unhinged, even based off of the previous chapter, not 126, but like 125 with the explosion part. Or was that 126? Somebody gonna correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. The unpredictability of this character is so sick. He doesn't care about morality. He doesn't care about serenity or whatever word you want to use, humbleness, all of that. He cares about the thrill of trouble, right? Like the thrill of danger. And it's like, it's not even his ability, right? It's not his ability at all that makes him scary. It's his mindset, because you never know what he's gonna do next. It makes, before I even get to that, right? Post reveal of who he really is. Going back and reading the manga again, it made every scene with him so unsettling, and Gachiakuta is so sick that she's given us multiple chances of like knowing who he is and understanding what his aim is, but we just didn't even look at it. We just saw it. It was like, oh man, that's kind of interesting. Why would she do that? For instance, right, when we were fighting Amo and she made Tamzy look like the guards from the sphere, bro, that was a sign. That was a sign. I've talked about that in the video before. But I say all that to say this, right? There are a plethora of elements that I could really talk about to make Tamzy stand out, but this was just one of the elements that I wanted to stick with, right? Like his unpredictability and chaotic nature. Now we can get into his combat style, right? Like, and his abilities. And interestingly enough, his fighting style matches his personality. He's sick and twisted and sadistic. Dude, when you really think about it in a nutshell, Tamzy is the personification of a spider. Like, even his ability, Tokushin, the way he uses it is like a web. He lures you in and then restricts you. It's really, really cool to think about. And unlike strategic villains, he thrives in chaos, more so recently, right? I kind of want to get into the relationship and just how well Tamzy actually does fit as a villain. Because as much as we want to say that Zodil is the one, right, like the perfect villain for this story, I genuinely think Tamzy is the perfect villain for the story, because in actuality, he directly challenges everything that Rudo is trying to accomplish, right? At least for now, because it starts off that way, where Rudo is all about the destruction of the sphere. I want to go back up to heaven. I don't care what it takes, right? I don't care what it takes to get to the sphere. Just get me there, get me to the promised land, and I'm gonna destroy everything. But now, Rudo is now in this sense of control. He's working on keeping himself grounded, making sure he keeps his friends safe, making sure he keeps himself safe, making sure that he follows through with everything that he wants to do. Meanwhile, Tamzy is just trying to wreak havoc and make Rudo spiral out of control, make him break out of his shell, in a sense, which is what he said in a multitude of occasions. Rudo has a purpose. He's driven. He wants to get back up to the sphere because he wants to find out who murdered Regto. That's the most important thing to him. Even though he's right in his face, he's still trying to do it while maintaining this sense of pride, right? He's taking pride in the things he's doing, like protecting his friends, protecting the cleaners, being himself, understanding and controlling himself. I really think that that is such a unique perspective for the two of these characters, right? Just the whole opposites attract thing. And now we get to my most important point, and it's the thing I like to call the X factor. It is the thing that makes him stand out the most, and it was the thing that really made me like lose my mind. It is the inner Tamzy. This was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a recent manga, right? Like I mentioned earlier in the video, everybody that's a villain normally in manga or the shonen demo, they all have this moment where the inner them speaks out. We've seen it everywhere. I can't think of like some off the top of my head. You can even point back to like Sakura, but she's not a villain. But the way Kei Urana presented it is what shook me, because he literally broke the fourth wall. If you didn't notice, his inner world is so twisted and warped that when he broke through the manga, like the manga literally ripped, it gave us the sense of this is new, right? Like this is new territory. We've never stepped into this before. And him being able to express himself the way he really wants to inside that world is such a fascinating thing for this manga. I genuinely think that he is the best thing for this manga as far as a villain. We all like to say Jabber because he's unpredictable and he likes to stab himself, and oh yeah, he likes to fight, right? Oh, fight, 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 fight. Sure, we can all say Zodil as well, but Tamzy is literally perfect because he is the complete opposite of what Rudo stands for, and at least for now, right? At least what Rudo is now, he is the complete opposite. He is the antithesis of Rudo, and I like that a lot. Anyway, I didn't want to like drag on too long. I was gonna make some wild ass like in depth, I'm gonna take 2 weeks to write this video script, but I genuinely just wanted to talk about it. So this whole time I've been going off the top of my brain just in order of things that I initially wanted to talk about, because I did have a list. But I just want to say that the inner Tamzy thing really made me like Tamzy even more than I already did, right? Made me like Tamzy even more than I already did. So what do you guys think about Tamzy in Gachiakuta, right? Like in terms of a villain, what do you guys think about it? Make sure y'all let me know in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Jesus Christ, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, this felt good just to talk, right? Just to speak everything into existence. It felt really good. Yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna try to get this video out today. It's funny, like I said at the beginning of the video, I did not mean to do this on Valentine's Day because that whole weird sense of love shit definitely plays a part. But I'm gonna get out of here, edit this video. Y'all enjoy y'all morning, afternoon, and night, wherever y'all y'all are, especially with it being Valentine's Day. Enjoy some time with your significant other. I'm DomoSenpai, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.